Honorable Koimburi. Honorable Speaker, as much as the police have taken action, and I do hope they will be able to charge the member for Juja. Honorable Speaker, even within our own standing orders, we have put it that you cannot disparage or even discuss a foreign president, especially a president of a foreign country. For the member for Juja to have uttered the unfortunate and careless words that he uttered over the weekend, and shamelessly, Honorable Speaker, in a church, on a pulpit, saying that other African leaders were being bribed, Honorable Speaker. The member for Juja should know that Prime Minister Raila Odinga did not run for chairmanship of AU under the instigation of William Ruto. Prime Minister Raila Odinga chose to run as chairperson of AUC, of the African Union Commission, on his own volition, because he is a Kenyan and an African statesman who deserved that position. President William Ruto did not choose to support Prime Minister Raila Odinga because he was his competitor in the last elections, or because they have served in ODM together. You know, President William Ruto is a founder member of ODM. He chose to support Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a deserving Kenyan and African statesman. The presidents, many presidents who voted for Raila Odinga to be chairperson, did not do it at the instigation or because they were influenced by anybody. Honorable Speaker, we must at the same time express our disgust by the actions of this member of parliament who claimed that the Republic of Kenya had spent 13 billion shillings. From where? Money that we have not appropriated, Honorable Speaker. But you know, Honorable Speaker, there are some of these members of parliament who sit here. Unfortunately, this member is even never in the house. So he doesn't even understand how money is appropriated. He's probably in a police station now. I don't know where he is and I don't care. I hear someone asking me, Honorable Speaker, where he is. Honorable Speaker, I want to propose the member for Juja must be named for this house because it is a bad habit he has formed. A very bad habit. You will recall last year, the same member, when members voted for the finance bill, yes, he claimed that they were being paid, I think, 200,000 shillings to vote for the finance bill. This 2 million shillings. 2 million shillings. He came here, stood there and apologized, Honorable Speaker. And the House, out of our own magnanimity, we chose to forgive him. Yes. Now he's repeating. When the impeachment motion came, he then went again to claim in some funeral somewhere where, you know, he's fond of following some other man there in funerals. He went to some funeral and claimed that members again were paid during the impeachment motion. Over 280 members, 282 members who voted in the impeachment motion, he claimed they were being paid. And he mentions figures from his head. And I see the person he follows in funerals repeating the same things. And that's how you know birds of a feather flock together. Honorable Speaker, now he has moved from members of parliament on the finance bill, impeachment motion, to heads of state of friendly countries. We cannot and we must not allow that kind of habit to take root in this house, and we must take action. And I want to invite us. Somebody must move a motion or should move a motion to name this member. So that tomorrow, this is what makes this house, Honorable Speaker, be treated with a lot of contempt and indignity because of the things that we say, not now of just our house. We have taken it outside to speak, say disparaging things about our country, disparaging things about presidents and heads of state and nations of other friendly nations, friends of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. How do you think those friends of ours who supported Prime Minister Raila Odinga would feel if they had their heads of state were being paid to vote? You know, to second. Allow me also to use this opportunity to express the disgust of this House on the actions and the words of one of us, the member for Juja, the Honorable Koimburi. Honorable Speaker, as much as the police have taken action, and I do hope they will be able to charge the member for Juja, Honorable Speaker, even within our own standing orders, we have put it that you cannot disparage or even discuss a foreign president, especially a president of a foreign country. For the member for Juja to have uttered the unfortunate and careless words that he uttered over the weekend, and shamelessly, Honorable Speaker, in a church, on a pulpit, saying that other African leaders were being bribed, Honorable Speaker. The member for Juja should know that Prime Minister Raila Odinga did not run for chairmanship of AU under the instigation of William Ruto. Prime Minister Raila Odinga chose to run as chairperson of AUC, of the African Union Commission, on his own volition, because he is a Kenyan and an African statesman who deserved that position. President William Ruto did not choose to support Prime Minister Raila Odinga because he was his competitor in the last elections, or because they have served in ODM together. You know, President William Ruto is a founder member of ODM. He chose to support Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a deserving Kenyan and African statesman. The presidents, many presidents who voted for Raila Odinga to be chairperson, did not do it at the instigation or because they were influenced by anybody. Honorable Speaker, we must at the same time express our disgust by the actions of this member of parliament who claimed that the Republic of Kenya had spent 13 billion shillings. From where? Money that we have not appropriated, Honorable Speaker. But you know, Honorable Speaker, there are some of these members of parliament who sit here. Unfortunately, this member is even never in the house. So he doesn't even understand how money is appropriated. He's probably in a police station now. I don't know where he is and I don't care. I hear someone asking me, Honorable Speaker, where he is. Honorable Speaker, I want to propose the member for Juja must be named for this house because it is a bad habit he has formed. A very bad habit. You will recall last year, the same member, when members voted for the finance bill, yes, he claimed that they were being paid, I think, 200,000 shillings to vote for the finance bill. This 2 million shillings. 2 million shillings. He came here, stood there and apologized, Honorable Speaker. In the House, out of our own magnanimity, we chose to forgive him. Yes. Now he's repeated. When the impeachment motion came, he then went again to claim in some funeral somewhere where, you know, he's fond of following some other man there in funerals. He went to some funeral and claimed that members again were paid during the impeachment motion. Over 280 members, 282 members who voted in the impeachment motion, he claimed they were being paid. And he mentions figures from his head. And I see the person he follows in funerals repeating the same things. And that's how you know birds of a feather flock together. Honorable Speaker, now he has moved from members of parliament on the finance bill, impeachment motion, to heads of state of friendly countries. We cannot and we must not allow that kind of habit to take root in this house, and we must take action. And I want to invite us. Somebody must move a motion, or should move a motion, to name this member. Yes. So that tomorrow, this is what makes this house, Honorable Speaker, be treated with a lot of contempt and indignity. because of the things that we say, not now of just our house. We have taken it outside to speak, say disparaging things about our country, disparaging things about presidents and heads of state and nations of other friendly nations, friends of Kenya, Honorable Speaker. How do you think those friends of ours who supported Prime Minister Raila Odinga would feel if they heard that their heads of state were being paid to vote? You know, Honorable Speaker, it is so annoying. I want to end it there, but we must name this member. We must. Because if we don't, he will make it a habit. Tomorrow, he will make all manner of allegations against any one of us here or against the president. And you know, because they have made it a sport to move around the country in funerals, insulting the president, and I hear they call themselves, I heard themselves calling them Itungati. Honorable Speaker, Itungati in French means people who have given themselves, heroes who have given themselves their time, their resources, their time and energy for the sake of the nation. But if you find yourself following a man in funerals and wherever you follow that man and calling yourself Itungati, you are not a Itungati, you are a slave to a man. Those who are following, those who are slaves, they are not Itungatis and lost slaves who are now disparaging heads of nations of Africa. Shame on them, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move and request the leader of minority, the Honorable Junet Mohammed, my good friend, to second this motion to...
Yes, Mani Chungo, of course, he was speaking during National Assembly, addressing Koimburi, that is the Member of Parliament for Juja, for the remark that he made that head of states were being given money so that they can support Raila Odinga when it comes to the African Union chairman and ship. And of course, he was addressing the parliament with a lot of anger issues, saying that the member of parliament must be punished thoroughly because of what he said. He is also one of the members of parliament who has been looking forward to being the Mount Kenya kingpin. Of course, if you follow what is happening in the Mount Kenya, yesterday we saw Buru here saying that they want to also feature in 2027. They want to make 2027 also a very tough competition because they are going to give their candidate after Gachagua impeachment forced by the government. Now they want to come back stronger and also represent the mountain. Martha Karua, Gachagua, so in the race for 2027. In whose hands will they feature? That is what they have been asking. And of course, you have seen the mountain trying to build pillars together as they prepare for 2027. You know, 2027 is going to be a very tough time. So the battle is still on. Now Raila, when he lost the AUC, now he might be back. And if Raila now joins the government, then it shows that the same way Jeremiah said, Kikuyu region, the Mount Kenya region might be out of government for more than 20 years. That is speculatively if Raila will join William Ruto in 2027. You have also seen what is happening in the Lake region. You have also seen now Gaucho, those are the loyal followers of Raila, and they were saying that now they saw William Ruto supporting Raila, that he has good ideas, he has pure intentions to support Raila. Even Ruto, when they had that government with Uhuru, they never showed that respect to Raila. So that means the Lake region is up to supporting William Ruto 2027 for the presidential candidate. The presidential candidate in 2027 is going to the Lake region and also from the Rift Valley, as they fight also the mountain. who is going to be the kingpin. Martha Karua, Gachagua, Ichung'wah, Ndindi Nyoro, one of the silent members of parliament, has been said he has never responded to either Raila defeat or Kimani Ichung'wah fighting hard to make sure Gachagua is out of the government. Of course, this is also a major boost for Kenyan if Raila is going to push the government to work or is going to relax waiting for the next step. So yeah, joined by Alex, of course. Alex, you heard what Kimani said when he was addressing the junior member of parliament. Also, we are seeing them fighting for the mountain. The mountain has not released the official candidate who is going to in 2027. What does that take out the mountain, and also what Kimani said, and several leaders from the Mount Kenya region?
Good evening, Kimanzi. I think there is a breakdown for the internet, either on your side or my side. I didn't get the question. Pardon, please.
You listen? Yeah. Okay.
There's an issue with the internet with one of us, either you or me, because I didn't.
Okay. Kwa watu wetu wa supporters wa Raila Kenya mzima na Afrika kwa ujumla, especially wa Kenya, nataka niwaambie ya kwamba msikuwe na wasiwasi na wacha wale wanalia wanacheka, wacha wacheke. Na wao pia wanasahau haraka sana. Juzi hapa walicheka Raila Amolo Odinga akiluze election, akirigiwa election ya 2022. Wakasema Raila ameisha na ameenda Bondo. Raila alirudi kama ako strong sana, ambaye akakuja akatolea wafuasi wake aibu. Tena watu tena wakasahau, tena wakarudi tena eti wanacheka ya kwamba Raila Odinga amelose kiti ya chairman ya AU ya Afrika. Mimi nataka kuambia watu wetu wa Kisumu, Migori, Siaya, Homa Bay, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, kila mahali ambayo supporters wa Odinga wako, msijaribu kuingia kwa trap yao watu kusema ya kwamba Ruto must go. Hao watu wajeitaka Raila Odinga kwa president, hawako waitaka Oginga Odinga kwa president. Oginga Odinga aliwashughulikia dakika mwisho walimruka. Raila alisaidia hata Uhuru akasema Kibaki tosha wakamruka. Akakuja akasaidia Uhuru Kenyatta wakamruka. So mimi naomba watu wetu mkue calm. Na mimi nataka kuambia watu wetu hatuna time na hatuna haja na tuko na haja ya kurudi kwa barabara. Kama hiyo ndio furaha yao ambao walisherekea huko Nyeri, wapi na kila mahali wakisema ya kwamba Raila Odinga kirudi tunaenda kwa join kwa barabara. Hiyo barabara watenda na mtu wa Madera, wataangalia ule mama ya activist Martha Karua wajoin nao, na wengine kina Eugene watawajoin waende maandamano. Sisi juu wametuonyesha kwamba hao watu wajeipenda Raila Odinga kutoka ndani kwa mfupa yao, hawajeipenda Raila Odinga. Nataka niambie supporters wetu, sisi tuko na Raila Odinga na mali natuambia tunaenda tutaenda, but hatuta join hao watu wa Madera, hatuta join hao watu wa Murang'a, hatuta join watu wa Kiambu. Kwa wachozbao hao watu wametuchukia in passion. Mtu akichukia baba yako asikudanganya na kupenda. Wanapendanga wale wanajifanya kwamba wana support hizo maandamano zao. Unaona, mimi nataka kusema kwamba ODM party haikuundwa ya ikue kama NGO ya kupigania human rights. Iko kazi ya human rights, iko watu wengine. Political party inaformiwa ili tuchukue power ama tukue ndani ya power. Enough is enough. Ile wametufanyia kutoka kwa Odinga, wamefanyia Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga akitaka kiti Kenya wataki, akikuja nje pia wanamuombea anguke. My friend, tunasema ya kwamba tutafundishana lesson hapa mbele. Tunashukuru ile mtu ulisema na sisi 2007 umetuonyesha upendo hata kwa hiyo election. Ile heshima ulipea baba akiingia kwa gari akienda kwa hiyo voting. Hata President Uhuru Kenyatta kufanya tukienda kwa election hii ya 2022. So mimi nataka kusema ya kwamba mkifikiria turudi hapo eti sijui Sakao sijui Soke sijui Kasongo, mnajisumbua. Sisi tunasema watu wetu mtulie, Raila aje lose option. na hajawahi shindwa vita. Akianzanga anajua exit ya hiyo vita inatokea wapi. But this time round, na mimi nataka kuambia watu wa Mount Kenya, hii madharau yenu hii, Raila ni vile tu anapenda Kenya. Hii madharau yenu hii mnashindanga mkifanyia watu. Sasa hii nyinyi mnataka nyinyi umekuwa kiviongozi. Moi muliangaisha, sasa hii mnataka kuangaisha Ruto. Raila pia mmeangaisha hiyo miaka.
Okay, hadi
Umesikia vile
Gaucho
anasema, una support vile anasema.
So first of all, I think the host Bonnie, I think there's a lot of contradiction from the people of the mountain, because immediately Raila Odinga lost the elections, the public participation which was done in the areas of Nyeri, I saw the residents there, they were celebrating, saying that they're happy Raila Odinga lost the AUC elections, should come home, join forces with Gachagua, whom they call Wamunyoro, and who is this guy also, and Uhuru Kenyatta, so that we can plan to remove Ruto in 2027. And many parts of Mount Kenya, let me not say Mount Kenya, let me say Nyeri specifically, those were the things the people were saying. And I think, Bonnie, it's a very bad place to be in as a country, where at the point where we are celebrating the loss of somebody in the UP election. And you see, in contrary, Bonnie, whenever Raila Odinga runs for elections, the people of the mountain always unite to send him home and ensure he doesn't get the seat. You need to mute somebody's mic, it's loud. So yes, as I was saying, Bonnie, whenever Raila vies for election, the people of the mountain combine to send him home and ensure he doesn't get the presidency seat. So it's contrary for them to come up again and say that they wanted Raila to come back home to help the people to remove President Ruto from office. And when we clearly see, even if elections are done today, they will vote against him. So there's a bit of contradiction from them to celebrate, and it's very bad for the people who are supporters of Baba to see other people celebrating his loss. As I said recently, Bonnie, in a show which I was in, which we were here, the question I posed for myself and the other panelists is, what would be the effect on if Raila Odinga won the AUC seat on our economy? So maybe I'm not sure. Maybe if he did get the AUC seat, it would be of beneficial to our economy, and maybe he could salvage something for the President Ruto, who right now Kenyans are very angry with, and they are saying he is yet to deliver. So maybe him getting the seat would be beneficial to us, but we'll see what the current president, the current chairman, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, will do. So those are the questions we have to ask ourselves, Bonnie. What if Raila got the AUC seat? You see, he would be handling the budget of the continent. So instead of us celebrating, or let me not say us, some people celebrating the loss, we have to start looking for ways in which we can raise other leaders who can come up front to try and get the AUC seat. We saw Amina Mohammed lost the AUC seat a few years ago, and right now Raila Odinga. Though we can raise issues, Bonnie, about how Raila Odinga campaigned, and he was looking for an exit in politics, and also the age factor of his, because the Professor PLO Lumumba spoke about it, and he said Raila's age is not the age of going for those seats, and he used something which Julius Nyerere spoke about, ujue wakati wa kung'atuka. So I think going to the future, Bonnie, as the people of East Africa, the people of Kenya, we have to start looking for ways to raise leaders who can go and campaign well in the AUC seat, because I don't think the campaign was well done, and there were rumors that he spent 13 billion. How factual is that? I don't know. But so those are the things we have to look for in the future, to find ways to raise leaders who can go and get the AUC seat, work with integrity, and do better for this country. Thank you.
And of course, now the Raila, now if he joins, of course, if Raila joins the government, it shows that the mountain will be out of the government for more than 30 years. You believe that the likes of Imani Chungwa, the likes of Gashagwa, Karua, Didi Nyoro will accept that?
Pardon, please.
I think we are having problem with the network from your hand. Mzalendo,
Pardon
what
the
do you think,
question.
Mzalendo? Of course, if you can hear me, Mzalendo, karibu sana, utuambie maoni yako ni gani? Unafikiri pia hawa kina Kimani Ichung'wah watakubali serikali iende kwa Wakale na Wajaluo for the next 30 years?
Habari gani Alex and Kimanzi? Maybe Aleki answer that question as I gather my thoughts. Nimeingia tu.
Oh, okay. As I was saying to you, Bonnie, the politics is a dirty game, and it doesn't matter whether you won the elections or you didn't win. What matters is whether the you see mwenye anatangaza ushindi kama atakutaja ama hatakutaja. That's what matters. So you can't say that you can't amwezi kubali kiti iende wapi ama wapi. Politics is a dirty game, and as long as you do your campaign well and you have agents wa kulinda kura, and you can get the seat, Boni. Doesn't matter. So tuseme ati people from certain regions won't allow people from certain regions to take that presidency seat. What matters is mwenye ametajwa kama mshindi. Politics is not a fair game.
Mzalendo, ni kweli unakubaliana na maneno ya Alex? Politics is not a fair game, kwamba Wakikuyu watakaa nje miaka kama 30 ya.
Politics is like a game of football. You go to the game with the aim of winning. When the referee finishes the match after the 90 minutes, you know one thing: you have either lost the election, or you've either lost the game and wait for a rematch, or you've been knocked out of the tournament. So that's how politics is. So anybody who is going into politics knows very well that it is not a fair game. There must be a winner and a loser at the end of the day. So whatever that is going to happen in this politics that we are witnessing will depend on me and you, the people of Kenya, to decide which side they want to be. Now, in this game, it's a tournament where we have people who want the status quo to remain, and the people who want change, and the people who want to be in the opposition. So there are three groups here: people who want change, people who want status quo, and the people who want government. People who want government. Yeah. So where do you belong? I think we belong to the people who want a change in our country, meaningful, progressive change. And I'm not just talking about replacing these old political gimmicks. I'm talking about replacing everybody in from the grassroots. If Kenyan people can organize themselves well and realize that they are wasting time with these leaders, it's when we will have a good country, or it's when we'll have service delivery coming to the grassroots. Without that, we are yet to see a lot of drama in 2027 and elect the same political cabal. I have said that these politicians in Kenya today behave like the mafia group. So the mafia group is headed by by the head of the group, who is like the supreme. So each political party, if you go to Wiper, there is Kalonzo. If you go to ODM, there's Raila. If you go to UDA, there is Ruto. And the other political parties that are emerging. So there is this supreme leader that they have to follow. But the thing is, we have seen the big political parties in Kenya, namely UDA, Ford Kenya, UDA, Wiper, Ford Kenya, and ODM. Have they ever been concerned about the plight of the people? Or they are only concerned about the positions that they want to occupy? These are the questions that we need to ask ourselves honestly. And if you come up with that answer, then we'll know where we want to be as the people of Kenya. Otherwise, thank you.
Yes, Alex, umesikia vile mzalendo anasema, unaunga maneno yake mkono ama unapinga?
Yes, Bonnie, I second everything he has said. You see, for the longest time here, we have issues of addressing the challenges that are facing us. That's why utapata Bonnie, there are people in Madira, they are not so focused on the MP finishing his manifesto. Focus yao yote ilikuwa kwa Rigathi Gachagua not to be impeached. And yet, Bonnie, if we stand today and ask his supporters which policies does he stand for, hawezi jibu. If you ask them what are the things the principles he stands for, they can't answer. You see, so our minds are really fixated on putting our leaders there. We have forgotten to shift our focus on them delivering to us. So because all sovereignty belongs to the people, so the powers belong to the people. The people are supposed to do an oversight of the government due to ensure they finish the manifesto before the next election, so they have some sort of credibility, so ndio tuweze ku-elect in the next election. But you see, election after election after election, MPs, governors, senators, manifesto imalizwi, but they just have a good mouth ya kuongelesha wananchi, and they get back to those political seats. So I hope in 2027, the rage that I saw last year from Kenyans, we will have that in 2027, because if we have that rage, then the political class will be shaken. Thank you.
Now we have only William Ruto, who is a strong presidential candidate in 2027. He'll be vying against other leaders. Others, we don't know the other names of candidates, but we know Morara Kebas. So we know a lot of leaders will, even Wajakoya will be there. So do you think that there is high probability of William Ruto winning again? Yet Kenyans are not happy with the government. But now in 2027, you see the political wave. So if like what you heard Gaucho saying, that the Lake region is going to support William Ruto. So if the Lake region supports William Ruto, then he is going to win. So do you think that this government will also work if we are going to repeat the same mistake? Because there is no one who can defeat this coalition if Raila is going to join them.
You see, Bonnie, first of all, can I say something which will be contrary to Kenyans? I think Kenyans have become super subjective, and I will second something that Okio Mtata said some few months ago, that if somebody does something good, we applaud him. If he does something bad, we correct him. So I'm following up on the roads that the president was supposed to launch in the parts of Isiolo, and he spoke about something saying that for the longest time the parts of the northeastern region have been neglected, and it's very true, Bonnie. The parts of northeastern have been rejected. Presidents come and go, that place has been rejected. There are no developments there. So if he has gone there, and for this time, Kimanzi, I feel it. I feel it. I haven't said it's a fact, but I feel it for this time. he's going to build the roads that he was talking about, which was saying that ianze Mandera, sijui iende Lwak, iende wapi. I feel like this time he is going to deliver that because Kenyans are on his toes so much. So saizi, the thing that people call kutenga, saizi hawezi kuja atengewa na inchi tena. So I hope by 2027 the roads which he said he will build in the northeastern parts will be built. And if we go back to this show some few months ago, there's a time Bonnie, me and you were here discussing politics, and we were talking about why some parts of the country are being neglected in terms of development, the others are constantly developing. So if the parts of northeastern region he can build roads, I will applaud him and say it's a good thing. And if he can build more roads, it's a good thing. We tick, because let's try to be objective and ensure that we always give flowers where something good happens. Whenever something bad happens, we shun. But that is not the criteria for elections in 2027. But I'm just saying, if you can push and try to salvage something before 2027, then it would be a good thing. So I don't know if Raila Odinga getting the UC seat would be beneficial to try and salvage Ruto's political career. But that's just it's a story for another day. So going back to what I was saying, so in 2027, I think Gaucho, most of the times, Gaucho is very subjective and he misses out on points. See, Bonnie, the moment you become subjective and you miss the objectivity point of view, then you start insinuating things that you don't know. Like you start saying, oh, Raila is going to win the UC election. And all odds were against him to clinch first position. Second position was the one which people who know politics know Raila was going to get the second position. So Gaucho he's at a point where he says so much and kumwelewa imekuwa ngumu. So it's like he's at a point where he just speaks for the sake of speaking.
Yes, that is Alex. Of course, if you're joining us here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to Afrique 24. That is Afrique 24 political discussion that is happening here every day at 10 p.m. So give us your views, ideas through the social media platforms and also through the comment section there. You can also tell us what do you think is going to happen in 2027. Yet we know Raila is not yet confirmed what is next. He has not confirmed what next for him after exit of the AUSC campaign. And of course, we have seen many leaders trying to support him. We have also tried to see how some of the Kenyans are happy after his exit. It's like Raila Odinga is the only political leader who can push the government. So what will happen if Raila just says it is the end of politics? Who is the other leader who is going to push Kenyans to work? That is, if you are leader, for example, the government, who is that leader now who is going to push the government? Is it Gachagua? Is it Kindiki? Is it Ndindi Nyoro? Is it Kimani Ichung'wah? There is a fight there on who is going to be the next kingpin, because the Kenya Kwanza government, as you heard yesterday, Jeremiah was saying they are going to rule for the next 40 years. So there is that big fight that is happening, and we have seen today and also yesterday leaders from the mountain trying to speak. The likes of Kiambu Governor, Kiambu Senator Nyandarua, the likes of Senator Meru, the followers of Gachagua, they are trying to unite for 2027. Mzalendo, unaona Martha Karua pia wanaweza ungana na Raila tena 2027.
Martha Karua is a very principled leader. Very principled. And she's grounded on facts. The reason why she can't join Raila is because she doesn't support William Ruto. and because of the atrocities that this government has committed. So those are the only reasons that I see that may prevent her from joining Raila Odinga. She was, of course, not for the cooperation between Azimio or Raila Odinga, who was the presidential candidate in Azimio with the UDA. So I have seen the way she's been moving around. She's blaming the Ruto government for arresting Kisa Besigye. So Martha Karua has got a lot of reasons not to join the Kenya Kwanza government. And this government, the people who are joining it, it's not for service delivery. It is because they want to eat whatever is left in the government coffers. And that is why Ruto has invited each and every committee to come and eat with him on that table. So that is what is happening in Kenya today. So there are a few of us who don't see the logic of the broad-based government, because once a president is elected in a presidential system, then his job is to give service delivery to the people who didn't even elect him. So that is what democracy entails. So the day we'll get good leaders, a good president up there exercising his executive authority, then you will see a balanced development throughout the country. But of late, we have been electing leaders who are jokers into the top seat. That is why the electorate feel that if you go to in my village, they feel that William Ruto has brought for us roads. William Ruto has done for us this. A bit of nonsense, because that is what the government ought to be doing on a daily basis, serving the people of Kenya, whether you elected them or you didn't elect them. So when a president is bringing service to you courtesy of your taxes, that is not a privilege. It is a right. Let me leave it there.
Right. Alex, umesemaje kuhusu maneno ya mzalendo? Pia Karua anaweza ungana na Raila 2027 tena kama 2022?
You see, Bonnie, the same way Mzalendo said, if Bonnie, you check Martha Karua's track record, Bonnie, you will find out that Martha Karua is somebody who has always stood on principle. And if anyone, let's say, maybe feels Martha is not fit to lead this country, to come out and tell us how many times has she been involved in corruption, how many times has she participated in laundering money for the citizens, and tell us how many times has she failed to deliver as a politician, and tell us how many times that Martha Karua has failed this country. Somebody to come and claim to us why Martha Karua cannot be given the mantle to lead this nation. So, Bonnie, as Mzalendo said, if Martha Karua was to form an alliance with Raila, she would have she's going to lose some sort of respect for the citizens, because the time when Baba sent out his the people whom he called his experts to work with the government, Martha Karua departed from Azimio. We have also seen Kalonzo departing from Azimio because they felt like they lost the what can I say? They lost the policies of the party, which was to stand by the people, because the KK government has failed to put the citizens first. So when the time Martha Karua and Kalonzo left, they left because they felt the objective wasn't met. So if she's going to form a government with Raila, she's going to lose the supporters that she has, because people have seen you have stood by the people. So you can't just turn your back again on the people and go to move with Raila. And Raila is somebody who is constantly losing followers from 2007, losing followers 2013 losing followers, 2017 losing followers. Right now, some of the Gen Z saw him as a good opposition leader. That's why you saw that girl Anini Baraza during the first protest saying that Agwambo, we saw what we were doing in the protest. Now let us go and do it. So meaning he had some respect. After going into the government, he has lost that respect. So if you move with Rao is somebody who is constantly losing followers. So by 2027, he's going to have lost a couple number of followers. So if Martha goes to liars with Rao, she's going to miss the objective which she has to achieve. And you see, the thing with born with reputation, it's very harsh. You can do 90% of good things, then you just make one mistake and people will focus on that one mistake. And that's what we're seeing from Rao. So Martha shouldn't go that same way. She's going to lose the people who follow her, who believe in her. So she has to maintain that path and liars with leaders of integrity, the likes of Okiya Mtata. And we have many people born who can oversight the government, not just Raila Odinga. If you look at what Gachagua is doing, Gachagua is oversighting the government. If you look at Senator Sifuna, look at Okiya Mtata, Senator. Look at people like Ledama, look at Senator Onyonka. Those people are doing an oversight of the government, and they are doing it very well. So we cannot miss somebody to oversight the government. God is always going to raise leaders to come out and do that. Thank you.
And also the likes of Natembea, who are still trying to oversight the government so that the government can deliver. That is, Alex, of course, we are having all those here in Africa 24 discussing some of the major happenings. The likes of Senator Onyonga, Natembea, they are also trying to chase the government, and also the former DP.
This country is in a mess. Can I tell you how your country is in a mess? Let me just use 2 minutes to explain how your country is in a mess. We are the only country and there are two watu wawili, moja anaitwa Adil na mwingine anaitwa Jayesh. These are the conveyors of corruption in this country. Na ndio watu wenye she and sha. Ndio wale watu ya Adani. Na hao watu wakija kuona rais, hata ukiwa deputy president kama minister, utamngoja hapo saa 5 akiongea na hiyo watu. Wakipanga hiyo mane? So Mr. President, be an honest man. Look for a mirror before you talk about corruption and look at yourself. If you think the people of Kenya are very intelligent, regarding Gachagua has not been associated with any scandal in this country. So wewe unaenda pale unasema he is incompetent. In matters of incompetence, Mr. President, I tend to agree with you to a certain extent. Serikali yako ni ya uongo, kutenga, kudanganya watu. Uliandika mkataba na watu ya Western, ukamjema utajenga 1000 kilometers, hujajenga. Umekuwa hapo juzi unafungua transformer. Wewe mimi ulitaka nikusaidie kudanganya wa Kenya. In matters kudanganya wa Kenya, Mr. President, I'm incompetent. Absolutely. I accept. Because hiyo alikuwa anataka tuende ku launch barabara na anajua hakuna budget, tukitoka Matinga inafanya nini? Sasa hiyo ndio kazi rais anataka nimsaidie. Ndio anasema huyu haelewi program za serikali. Sasa kwenda kupeleka Matinga ukijua hakuna kazi inafanya, hiyo ni program ya serikali. He was telling me to go and defend Adani. Tulikuwa na Eugene Wamalwa, huyu mheshimiwa, na Onyonga kwa mazishi Kitale. Huyu Onyonga akaamuka, akalima serikali mambo ya Adani, na mimi nakaa tu pale. I don't want to nod because I'm still in office. That Adani thing is the worst form of corruption in this country. So mimi nilipoamuka, I never responded. So one of the PAs ya mkubwa akanipigia simu. Mtu yuko huko, mtu ya 36. Wewe, Wewe ni deputy president ya sangapi? Maana ya deputy president, you speak last. Ndio ile maneno yote iko baya serikali ukanu. Kwa nini huyo Nyonga alilima serikali mambo ya ndani and you are not defending? Nikamwambia I cannot answer you. Tell your boss to call me. So president amenifikia, nimemwambia mimi siwezi. That thing is corruption. I cannot defend it, Mr. President. I cannot. That is why he is saying I was not defending government programs. Sasa corruption, is it a government program? So wanasema ati I'm incompetent. Hii mtu hakuna kitu anaelewa. Sasa kama serikali ni wizi tupu. Sasa what is there to defend? Walinipeleka Senate ati nimekataa watu watolewe Nairobi River. Walinishitaki nimekataa watu wafukuzwe Marigiti Market. Those are things I could not do. Ukiangalia hii maneno ya affordable housing, it is the worst fraud against the people of Kenya. And it's good today I tell the country. And those are things he was telling me to go to TV to defend. I told him I will not. Mimi pia nikichwa ngumu. That housing, initially we believed in the president. That ni ya kuleta ajira, nini, maneno kizungu mingi, we looked okay. Until it came to my attention, it has nothing to do with housing. Ni biashara. Ya kwamba PS wa housing. Ukitaka kujenga affordable housing, you must go and sign a subcontract na kampuni ile tauza simiti na chuma na mabati. Na hiyo kampuni watu wale wakubwa zaidi Kenya wako ndani ya wapi? So this housing levy inatolewa kwa watu ya Kenya is to make sure these houses are going on, ndio hao wauze simiti, wauze chuma, wauze mabati. That is what the president is accusing me of not understanding and being incompetent. Sasa mimi nauliza, na mimi nataka niseme, I want to assure the people of Kenya, this team I see here, and when I listen to the people of Kenya, because I listen a lot, once a new government is sworn in, that housing levy will have to be abolished so that we restore the dignity of the payslip. The dignity of the payslip. Wakenya wamehangaishwa zaidi. Na nimeona mpaka yule mkubwa ya wafanyikazi amekuwa ameingia kwa hiyo praise and worship team. Watu nakazwa mambo ya NSSF, mambo haongei. Kazi yake ni praise and worship. Those are the things sisi ambaye tumeshindwa kufanya. So finally ndio nimalize, because I wanted to tell the president, usidanganye wa Kenya. Useme ukweli, tulikosania corruption because wewe ndio unaeneza corruption na watu yako. Na it is impossible to make any progress in this country unless we sort out this country in terms of leadership. We'll sink lower and lower. Finally niambie watu ya Western, because mimi naona huyo jamaa amekwama hapo kwenu. Nyinyi mko na bahati that we are here to advise you. Alienda kwenu siku 6. Kwetu he was there 6 days out of 7 every week. Hakuna kanisa hajaingia. Hakuna barabara hajui kwa jina. Hakuna soko hajui kwa jina. And you would memorize, we are very impressed. Anataja barabara, Wakikuyu wanasema These men called a community that has pride, a community that's hardworking, that is rich. Watu
Ai. Aletwa Rigiji. Hapo amekwaruza government vizuri vile inafaa. Naongopi kitu. Masika vile anasema, je, una support maneno ya Rigiji? Wewe ungetaka kuwe rais ama wewe sitaka kuwe rais? Kwa upande wako unaonaje?
Okay, so if you had to ask me, Bonnie, I would say we don't need Rigathi in the system, but we need him to oversight this government. There's still some question marks that I raised. Like I told you, Bonnie, if let's say because Rigathi believes he's the kingpin of Mount Kenya, and he removes the way forward for them. So right now today, Bonnie, let us line up people who are his supporters and ask them, which policy does he stand for? I'm so sure, Bonnie, none of them can tell us. And if you tell us, you need to substantiate to us what policies are those ones that he stands for. Apart from him dismantling the government and shaming the president, I'm yet to see something from him that gives me, Bonnie, the idea that Rigathi is right for the job. So he's good at mobilizing crowds, but I don't think he's ready to be given the mantle. This mantle has to be given, Bonnie, to somebody with a lot of credibility, because even there are many people who raise issues calling him a tribal person. So I think Rigathi is still there's some issues, and he's just popular in the mountain. He's not popular, Bonnie, in Nyanza. He's not popular from where you're from. He's not popular in Northeastern. He's not popular in places of rift. So he has to. That's why he always tries to class himself with leaders like Natembea, trying to pull up some leaders here and there to try and see whether he can try and gain some more numbers in those regions. So that's my take.
Kwa nini sasa yani unasema Gachagua sasa na yeye anataka kuwa rais? Na umesikia akisema in 2027 when a new government is formed, then this housing should be abolished. Inamaanisha pia yuko kwa debe sana. Yuko kwa debe 2027. Comment section hapa awesome. Karibu sana. Yes.
You see, the from what you know, Bonnie, in the after Mike Sonko was impeached, he was not able to run in the next election, and that's the way things are in this our country. So even if Rigathi dies in 2027, I am so sure the judiciary will not allow him to run. Let us speak truthfully, Bonnie. So Rigathi has to support someone, and so he will be in government, but let's say like the deep state, he won't be the one in the front face.
Awesome. The comment section is saying that Uhuru, yes.
No, go on.
Uhuru was not wrong when he arrested you. He is addressing Gachagua. Uhuru was not wrong when he arrested you. Why did you not clear your name with the 800 million you could not account for? What did you invent to hold this money? Awesome. That is the comment section there, my good friend. Awesome. Na unajua bado awesome bado. Na ngoja bado. I'm still waiting. Anasema ati awesome anasema Gachagua aliiba 800 million.
So Bonnie, that one is it's a hearsay. So we try to stay away from hearsay. Even Baba Yao Ferdinand Waititu, he has had some many let's say cases about corruption. There's a time we had 500 million, so he was just charged recently and jailed. So we will go as per the fact is he's charged. He stole amount of money and he's paying for it. Is he the only one? No, he's not the only one. So until Rigathi is proven guilty, he is innocent. We can't say he stole 800 million. Though we know politicians always steal money from citizens, but until we prove it, we stay away from hearsay.
Politician wamezoea kina Ferdinand Waititu
hapa. Watu wakachagua Ruto tukifikiria vile alikuwa na Biblia ati ni mtu mzuri sana, ni mtu ya Mungu. Akadanganya vijana, mnakumbuka mahasara wote, mama bora wote wakadanganywa, watu ya bodaboda wote wakadanganywa, hata sisi viongozi tukadanganywa, na hata watu mapastors wote na mabishop wakadanganywa. Hatukuwa najua hii mtu anaweza kuwa na uongo sambuli hiyo. Na mmesikia ulimwengu mzima yeye ndio namba 2 kwa ufisadi. Na ufisadi na uongo yote inaenda pamoja. Kwa hivyo hakuna mtu anaweza sema mwingine alikuwa mjinga, kwa sababu tulidanganywa sisi wote. Mimi nataka niwaambie sisi watu ya mlima tumeapa yule alitudanganya hatuwezi rudisha kidole pahali uliumwa. Yule alitudanganya naye sisi tunamngojea 2027 asubuhi na mapema.
tafadhali, tukiwa na mkubwa wetu hapa Bwana Kalonzo Musyoka, kuona wamama ambao wanatafuta watoto wao huko. Vijana mlisikia Mlolongo 4, tumesikia mwingine pia amechukuliwa huko Kaiti. Mimi nataka kukuambia ile hofu iko huko ni mbaya sana. Wanaua watoto na kinyama, na tuku wanafikiri Ruto mwenyewe akiwa mzazi anaweza angalia kama watoto wengine wanauawa. Na mimi nataka niwaambie tafadhali, nyinyi mkubali huyu Kasongo, hiyo hadithi ya Kasongo tusahau, na tusahau 2027 tufikirie mambo mengine. Mmekubali? Mnakubali? Hebu nione tena kama sisi wote tuko kichwa moja. Alafu niwaambie kitu kingine, kwa sababu hiyo lazima tunasema, yule mtu ambaye amehitimu kabisa kwa experience akiwa na miaka mingi kwa bunge 28 years, ni huyu mzee mnaona hapa, na huyu ndio aliongoza na Kibaki. Huyu ndio nchi ikapata maendeleo na tukapata masomo ya bure. Hebu tupigie Kibaki makofi wakiwa na Kalonzo Musyoka tafadhali. Hao ndio waliongoza hii nchi, ikaonekana nchi iko na tofauti, si ndio?
Baba yao saa hii amefinywa vizuri. Amesema hapo Kasongo lazima aende nyumbani, lakini umeona vile amesukumwa sana pale kwa koti. Wanafikiri ni tit for tat ama ni fair game?
Let me first respond to a comments which Osama ameandika, sema Alex, which country were you when the Uhuru administration arrested him and what was the reason? Don't be able to know everything. What's here say, and it's a fact he was arrested. So let me respond to you, Osam. I haven't said that I know everything. I'm just trying to stay away from hearsay. But it is another thief is yet to appeal his sentence. That another. So it's not a hearsay. As I told you, there have been cases, and I've been saying to you, Bonnie, there are cases that of politicians stealing money, but we operate in a world where people go as per the evidence that is provided. You see, so many people out here are roaming freely, but they have done malicious things. But the problem is, it's yet to be proven. So if it's yet to be proven, we cannot just come out and claim things out of nowhere, because you can even be charged for what you're saying. So until there is proven guilty, for now, let's just say he's innocent. I didn't say that Waititu is not a thief. You see, so if Gachagua was arrested for 800 million, then why is he out of power? Or can we say it's because of the president? Maybe, but as I said, we have to wait for things to be done for us to be able now to come out and claim them. You see, but if the judiciary was working, many politicians would be jailed of stealing money. Many of them, because most of them are just stolen from citizens. So that's what I can respond to, also.
Perfect. Of course, match day, Real Madrid versus Manchester City at Santiago Bernabeu. Having UEFA Champions League knockout stages. That is awesome day in the comment section. Of course, much appreciation for those who make time for Africa 24 political discussion.